through these tough times? How can I get you to navigate? We're going to record the class just so that peradventure after this time you want to calm down and watch it, they will also be available. All right. So we're going to proceed with that. The next thing I want you to look at is the very picture you see on your screen right now. Take a good look at this picture and answer the question underneath. What do you, if you were the person standing where he or she is standing, what would you see? What do you see? Tell me in the chat room, because if we enable you to speak, it may take a lot more of the class time. So go to the chat room, take a look at the picture you see, and tell me if you were the one standing there, what would you see? Okay, Prince Adeyinka says ocean tide. Yes. Someone says the waves, a stormy sea, new opportunities, waves. What do you think those things represent? You know, someone says a turmoil, refreshing times. When you look at the picture, what do you think will be going through your mind? Okay, Olori says the cloud. Ooh, so you were able to look and get to that far. That's great. Chema says the waves. Oluchi says, I see calm, peace, and meditation. All right. So I don't know what you see, but whatever you see actually has to do with what you chose to focus on. There are many things to look at in that picture. You can look at the chaos of the waves. You can see the chaos of the waves. You know, that's what you could see maybe at the early beginning. You could see the shoreline exactly, Bella, how dry it is. But you could look beyond the waves and see the storm gathering, the first set of waves gliding in. But you can look way into that and ask yourself, what else do you see? What else do you see? Okay. One amazing thing that many people would skip out is the fact that you need to look down and see the footprints on the shoreline. Take a look at it. Did you see the footprints? Did you see the footprints? If you saw the footprints, tell me, yes, I see the footprints. Do you see the footprints? Great, you saw the footprints. What do you think these footprints represents? Why do you think it was so easy to look ahead and the footprints that are there? What do you think it represents? What is it? What do you think the footprints are telling us? Yeah, you see them now. Okay. What do you think the footprints are telling us? Great. That people once walked the same path. Absolutely. That many have come and gone. Somebody has been there before. Amazing. Somebody walked that same place before. It represents those who have gone through that path before. Amazing. Someone has been there before. Absolutely. You are fantastic. So, if somebody has gone through that path before, what can we learn from it? What can we learn from it? What can we learn from it? If somebody has been in that path before, what can we learn from it? That we too can go through. Okay, they survived, so will we. Every phase passes. Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want you to remember what you said you were feeling at this moment. Okay, remember what you were feeling, and we're not disdaining what anybody is feeling. All right. Some of us are in touch with it. Some of us are not in touch with it, and it's okay. All right. But I need you to clearly look at the footprints there. Do you notice also that the footprints are in diverse directions? Do you notice that? Some are pointing this way, some are pointing this way, some are pointing that way, some are pointing this way. You know, they're not all facing the same direction. Is that true? Come on, tell me in the chat room. Go to the chat room. This is not just going to be me lecturing you some 5 steps to navigating storms. No, I'm not going to do that. I want us to go through experiential learning, and we're going to do some games together. So no matter the age, your kids, everyone, gather them in, let them come listen to this. So think about it. If the footprints are pointing in different directions, what does it tell us? Yeah, what does it tell us? Get your kids. I don't care how old they are, 2 years, 3 years, 15 years, get them in. Let them come listen to this. We're going to do some amazing exercises together. So, what does it tell us? If they are pointing in different directions, what does it tell us? You would have thought that all the footprints on the seashore would point in the same direction. How come some were pointing this way, some were pointing that way, some were pointing this way, some were pointing backwards? And then what do you think it's telling us? I love this when you said there are many ways to solve the issues. That people, Rachel says, people have moved in different directions, different paths to life. Wow. The destinies are different. That's what it means. People can handle challenges in different ways. I really like that, Sani Tululokwe. Many choices, many opportunities equal. But you could imagine when you looked at this, it wasn't even apparent at the beginning. It wasn't even apparent at the beginning. We'd always seen waves and storms and clouds. We didn't look down. So I want to ask you, why is it so easy to see the waves and not see the footprints? Why do you think it's so easy? Why is it that when we got there, we saw the waves and we didn't see the footprints? Tell me in the chat room. Tell me. Aha, the waves are more glaring. Okay, the waves are more glaring. Yes, what else? The waves are magnified. I like this. Ogechi says the waves are loud. Okay, the waves are loud. All right, the waves are more prominent. Akemini says the waves are threatening, threatening. You know, they're going back, and that's all you. It's the waves are powerful. I like that. The waves are obvious. All right. So come with me. What are we learning from that? What are we learning from that? That these waves are troublesome, they are obvious, they are powerful, they are what are they? And they catch our attention to the extent that we don't look down. What is this telling us? Let's learn together. Depre Brown says troubles distract you from the key things in life. Whoa, that is amazing. Yes, the same way the little black spot stands out on a white background. I like that. So, what are we learning from that? What are we learning from that? Sarah says they're always more in a situation or challenge than we initially see. Absolutely. Ikolo says, look beyond the obvious. Ogechi says, catchy and boisterous. Uh-huh. Why do you think we run to that? So my question is, why do you think we run to that and we don't look downwards? Why do you think that happens? And what can we learn from that? What can we learn from that? We choose what we focus. There are little things we don't look out before because they take things off our eyes. That's what Favor Harbor from Umaya says. All right. So I'm glad you're picking these things. One more thing from that picture. Picture says a lot. Okay, picture says a lot. So try and follow with me. We're just gonna be learning together. Now, where she, let's assume is a lady. I don't know, but let's just assume it's a lady. Where she's standing, do you think she's going to be making her own footprint also? Let me know, yes or no. Where she's standing, will be she also be making her own footprint? Tell me in the chat room. Let's participate. Tell me. Aha. So she's going to be, let's assume it's a lady. There's no way for me to know whether it's a lady, but let's just assume. Okay. She's standing there. She's going to make her own. So what do we learn from that? What do we learn from that? Immediately she moves, she's going to have her footprint there. What are we learning from there? What do we learn from there? In light of all we're saying, okay? Oh, I love this. Sarah Jones says, how I handle a situation leaves a mark. It leaves a mark for the people who are coming, people who are standing there. Okay, your kids are watching your mark. Your friends are watching your mark. That's amazing. Okay, we are adding our own collaboration to the events. Okay, we are adding ours. We, not the government, not the politicians, not your friends. You are adding yours. Is that not profound? Because it's so easy to come to the beach. First of all, we talked about the waves out there. Then we scaled it down and saw the max on it. Then we now came into our own shoes and says, whoa, I am leaving my own mark. Is that not amazing? So I want to ask you, don't answer me this. What kind of mark do you think you want to leave on the shore? What kind of mark do you think you want to leave? Don't answer me. I just want you to think about it. What kind of mark you want to leave on the shore? So that when somebody else comes and looks at this, what will your mark say? All right, great food for thought, which is why we're here, because that begins to prompt the question of today's discussion. How are we going to navigate through these times? So as we're navigating, we're leaving our marks, and as we're leaving our marks, we're deciding that when this story is told 5 years from now, when the story is told 2 weeks from now, when the story is told, my mark will be part of the things that will be told. All right? Is that cool? Is that cool, everyone? Do you get that with me? All right. Now, that cool? Just tell me, yeah, cool. Is that cool? All right, great. Remember, you can bring in everyone you can into this. All right. So let's do a second kind of learning. Let's do a second time of learning. I'm going to give you something else to consider on the different chat. We're going to look at basically one of the most prevalent things when people go through stress. When people go through stress, what people oftentimes overlook, the correlation between stress and performance. Between stress and performance. So on the graph there, you would see stress going downwards. And then on the other one up, you will see performance on this side. And it says that you can follow the graph and you can plot how people respond to stress. Remember at the beginning of the class of the session, we saw that what was the predominant thing people were feeling. And we saw that the predominant thing people were feeling at this moment was anger, disappointment, and all that. And all this, we are taking you through the medical side of it and the hormones they release. They really affect our stress level. All right. So if you look carefully at the graph, you would see that stress in itself initially is not a bad thing. Okay, stress itself is initially not a bad thing. In fact, you need a level of stress to get to optimal performance. And if the stress is not enough, you are often understimulated. But sometimes the stress can get to a point where you're overwhelmed, distressed, and you're literally not functioning. That's the other end of it. There's another graph that makes it easier so we can use that to discuss it. Okay, so I'm going to give you the second one that makes it easier for you to discuss because I love the way it brings it out in colors. Okay, the way it brings it out in colors. Yes, the video has been recorded live and we'll make it available for everyone. But participate. If you participate, you're really going to enjoy this. So how many colors do you see? How many colors do you see on the screen? Tell me. How many colors? Tell me, go to the chat room. Tell me how many colors do you see? All right. Some people say four, some people say five. But I think the overall answer is four. Okay, colors. Everybody's counting all the colors on the screen. Okay. I mean, inside the graph, inside the curve, I think there are four. There's the light green, there's the yellow, there's the orange, and then there's the red. So when I ask you where you feel, you can actually tell me by a color. All right, by a color. So no judgments. Everybody, no judgments. And I don't want you to just be futuristic and just, no, no, no. Look within yourself now and be honest with me and with yourself and with your people around you and tell me on the chat, what color zone am I in right now? What color zone am I in right now? Okay. What color zone do you think you are in right now? What color zone? Just be yourself. Remember, no judgments. What color zone? Because part of navigating through your emotions and through the times is to be able to recognize it. So, no judgments. Don't allow anybody to cow you into what zone and ask you why you're in the zone. No, 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 no. So, if that's how you feel, because you have the zone, the green zone where you're laid back, you're cozy, you're inactive. That's a light green zone. You could also be in the what we call optimum stress, where stress is good, it's getting you going. When you get to the point of fatigue and then you cross over to too much stress, overload. And then some of us can cross over where we feel burnt out, and it's okay. It's really okay to be in any zone, but you got to know that you are there. That right now I feel in the red zone, I'm feeling burnt out, I'm feeling panic, anger, anxiety, or I feel, exhaustion, or I feel, yellow or green, whatever. What we're just trying to do is to get you to identify it. Because if I'm going to teach you in the next few minutes how to navigate, then it begins with you acknowledging where you are. And I don't know where you are in a part of the world listening to me. Some of you are in Nigeria, where in places of Nigeria where there's real lots of trouble and gunshots and all that. And some of you may be in a different country where things are calm, but and some of you may actually be going through personal tragedy, depending on the seasons of your life. All right. So once you understand this, then great. We can then make a quick progress. All right. So I want us to play a game together. Okay. I want us to play a game together. This is so, so good a game. And I'm going to give you the time to be able to do it. So each of you, very quickly, I want you to gather either a set of pen, just leave your seat, gather all the pens you can gather around, at least gather like 10 or 20, not one or two, gather pencils, or gather crayons, or cutleries. Like you see, I have here all of all the, is it feck or fuck you call it now? I have like 10 here, I went into my kitchen and gathered all the cutleries. We're going to play a game. So gather all the cutleries if you want, or it may be your kids' crayons. Just go gather all of them. Gather at least 10. If you can gather 15, Then I have pens and pencils here. You know, all of them I gathered them. They're like 6 or 7 that I've gathered here. So gather them. Isn't it that dangerous? I just want to do a game, all right, Sarah. Then uh, here, which may be difficult for all of you to get, I've got chopsticks. I got chopsticks. I got chopsticks also. Yeah, Sarah, you can use crayons, you can use spoons, whatever, but gather as many as you can. So when you've gathered them, oh yes, I see somebody showing me hers on this, and gather them as much as you can. And if you're ready, go to the chat room and say, I am ready. As many as you can get, go to the chat room and just tell me I'm ready. It's an amazing game we're going to do. So whether it's with pens or pencils or crayons, go to the chat room and just tell me I'm ready. All right. And we're going to do this game together. An amazing fun time for everybody. So I'm using chopsticks. You can use pens. You can use just, gather your kids. It's a good way to distract them. Say, come watch this game we're about to do. All right. Gather cutleries or gather pen, gather them and go to the chat room and tell me I'm ready. So how many am I seeing here? I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazing. I'm seeing like 10 persons here saying they're ready. All right, gather them, and everyone get ready. I'm going to give you 1 more minute to gather them. You got to have fun. When you're navigating tough times and feeling overwhelmed and feeling stressed, and whatever zone you said you had yourself in, let's have a game time. All right. So while that is getting ready, I'm going to do an example with a pen. Then I'll use with a cutlery. All right. So I have a pen in my hand. All right. I have a pen in my hand. Are you ready to have fun? Just take one for a moment and put it on top of your hand like this. Okay? Put it on top of your hand like this. Okay? Put it on, just one on your hand like this. Just one. All right? Just one. All right? All right? So when you do that, all I want you to try to do, just with one, what I want you to try to do is to throw it up and see whether you can catch it. Almost like throw it up and then catch it. Try it, throw it up, and then I'm just holding it for demonstration purposes. You may even want to stand to do it. You may find that it's better. Make sure it comes from the bottom of your hand. Okay, maybe make sure it's there, then throw it up and catch it. All right, just with one. Everybody try it with one. Now, once you've tried it, come on, try it with me, just with one. Forget the world. Let's have fun together. Throw it up and try and catch just one. And tell me if you caught it. Go to the chat room and tell me if you caught it. Just with one. Throw it up and catch it. Go to the chat room and tell me you caught it. All right, just with one, maybe with a spoon. Now I'm going to try with a cutlery. So I have a cutlery and I'm going to try and balance it. I'm going to throw it up and catch it. Okay? Tell me if you're able to do that. Try it with one, just one. Everybody, just one. Tell me you caught it, you caught it, you caught it. Now, if you did that, question I want to ask you without trying it, listen to me, is how many of them do you think you can put on your hand, throw at the same time, and catch all at the same time. How many do you think? Go to the chat room and tell me how many. Do you think you can do it with 2 or with 3 or with 4? Just take a guess. Take a guess. How many do you think you can do? Don't try it yet. How many do you think you can do? Hold on. Hold on. Go to the chat room and think, how many do you think you can do without trying it? How many do you think you can do? Okay. Make sure you tell me how many you think you can do. Once you tell me how many you think you can do, now I want you to try it. Try to get to that number. Okay? Try to get to that number. So put 2, you have to start with 2. Put 2, okay? And I can't, because I have so many things tied around me, so I just did 2. Go to 3, put 3. I just did 3. Okay. And I'm going to try 4 now. So you try yours. Try. And as you increase your numbers, go to the chat room and tell me how many you have done. If you write a new number now, write 3 done or 4 done, and keep going at it. Keep going at it. Keep going at it. All right. So I'm going to try 4 now. What are you trying? I just did 4. Come on, try. Who is going to try 5? I'm going to try 5 now. 5 done. Come on, let's have some fun. There's a big lesson in there. I'm trying 5 now. I'm trying 5 now. What are you trying? What are you trying? What are you trying? Whoa, I just did 5. I just did 5. What are you done? Okay, you tried 7, you caught 3. Try again. What are you going to do? Okay. Whether with spoons, whether with chopsticks, how many were able to do? I see people excited all over this place trying different numbers. Okay, let's see. Somebody says, my husband caught 4. All right, so the record I'm seeing is 4. Who is going to break 4? I did 5. Come on, let somebody break 5. Who's going to break 5? Try 5. Try 5. Somebody just did 6. So try 6. Try 6. Come on, don't look at me. Put it in. Go back. Take 1 more. Stand up if you can. Put it there. Victoria Pillar caught 6. Somebody caught 7 on this side. Somebody caught 5 on this side. Try it again. If it falls, do it going again. Somebody caught 8. Henshaw just did 8. Come on. Try it up. Someone says, my husband caught 7. 9. Somebody just caught 9. Come on this screen. What are you guys doing? Get fun. Get fun. Try more. Put it at the top of the hand. Throw it up and catch. Throw it up and catch. Throw it up. 9. Somebody caught 9 on this side. How many people have you caught on this side? This screen, can you tell me? My husband caught 6 spoons. 6 spoons. My daughter caught 3. Okay. Come on, let's see. I'm going to give 2 more minutes to see, what you can do. Gloria says her husband caught 7 and 9. Chopsticks. Whoa, somebody just got 10. My husband caught 10. Yes, I threw 8 and caught 7. Okay, Lanya, what are you going to do? You threw 8, you caught 7. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Agogo says, my daughter caught 7. All right, on this side. You threw 9, you caught 8. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Tell me. You caught 7. Jane caught 7. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Your daughter caught 6. Dr. Blossom. How far? I don't care how high you trade up. So long as when you trade up, you can catch it. I don't care if you like trade just a little, but make sure you put all at the back and throw it and catch it. Lion say, I caught the 8. Yay! Favor did 10. We're going to 10. We're going to 10. We're going to 10. We're going to 10. Yay, yay, yay. Going to 10. Yay, yay, yay. Going to 10. Okay. All right. Stella says, my son caught 6. I hear 10 here. I hear 8 on this side. I hear 5 on this side. My son did 6 and caught all. But today, awesome. Oh, great, 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 great. Okay, great. Thumbs up to everybody. Thumbs up to everybody. Now, very quickly, let's ask ourselves, what is the learning points from this? What is the learning points from this? Okay? So tell me on the chat room, did you exceed your expectations? Ask them, what did you say before and what did you achieve now? That's how I wanted to write it. Before I said I would do, what did you say? Now, what did you do? Okay? Before, what did you say you could do? Now, what did you say you could do? Okay? I know you did also, but give me numbers. Okay? Give me numbers. Here, here. You said 2 before, you did 5. Great. What did you say before? I said 2, I did 5. I said 4 before, I did 8. Yes? You said, what did you say here? You said 4, or you did 8. You said 2, you did 3. Amazing. You said 2, you did 10. Yeah, you said 2, you did 10. Whoa, that's amazing. You said 4, you did 5. You said 3, you did 8. Amazing. 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 You said Lucy, you said 3, but you ended up doing 7. Come on, Yusuf. What did you say you would do and what did you end up doing? Come on, tell me. Tell me in the chat rooms. You said 1 and you did 3. Okay, great. Great, great, great energy. So very quickly, I want to ask another question. What happened when you threw it and you failed? What did you do when you threw it up and you failed and maybe some fell to the ground? What did you do? Can you tell me in the chat room? Somebody said, I tried again. Yes, what did you do? Stella said you kept going. Yes, what did you do? Tell me, tell me. You threw it up, it fell. What did you do? I really want to know. Ask your kids, what did they do? What did they do? What exactly did they do? Ask your friend around you. Ask your children. Ask your husband. When he tried it and it fell, what did they do? Ask them. You picked it up and you tried again. You picked it up, you laughed. I like that. You laughed and you picked it up again. You screamed. Your son kept at it. This is beautiful. Your sister tried again. You tried again. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay? Quick learning point. Quick learning point. What happened when you heard that somebody has done, a number that you couldn't do? What happened? You got hyper excited. Okay. What did you do when you heard, maybe you were at 3 and you heard somebody had done 5? What did you do? You got motivated, Alice. You felt challenged, right? Blossom. You were motivated to keep going. You felt encouraged. That's very great, Alabi. You felt encouraged that, yeah, you just went, whoa. Mary, you went, whoa. We laughed and we got motivated. My daughter did 7 and I was so moved, Jane said. It encouraged me not to stop, Jude said. I felt how? Success, how? All right. Now, for each of these, you decided to get going. You decided to get going. Remember that. Remember that you were inspired, you were wowed, you were motivated. Now, was there anybody when it fell, you said, I'm not doing it again? Was there anybody? No. Because we were having fun. You just decided to try it again. No, you just decided to try it again. Okay? You felt that if that person could do it, you could do it. Remember, let's remember, People have been on the shore before you got there. Remember that. People had been on the shore before you got there. Is that not amazing? They've been at the shore before you got there. So think about it. So, what are we going to do about this? We're going to do a simple exercise. Now, everybody get a piece of paper. Quickly, quickly. Everybody. Your son, your daughter, everybody get out a piece of paper, and we're going to draw a river and put 3 bridges across it. Okay? We're going to get a piece of paper. We're going to draw the river. You see the blue river? Okay, we're gonna draw the river. Everybody draw the river, draw the river. Let's have some fun together. And we're gonna practice what we've just done, learned now. Yusuf, are you there? Have you got your paper? You drawn your river? Yusuf Abbas, can you wave at me? Okay, so take your paper and draw your river. All right. So I'm drawing my river. Where's my piece of paper? Let me get my paper. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm back. So I have my river. So I'm going to draw my river. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Draw your river. Okay. Draw your river, everybody. And then if you have some color, color it in the middle. Draw your river and color it. All right. Draw your river and shade it in the middle. Shade it in the middle. That's your river. All right. All right. All right. Now, don't just stop there. I want you to give a river your name, a name based on how you feel. How do you feel? You know, how were you feeling before? You were feeling sad, you were feeling overwhelmed before, you were feeling angry, or you were in the red zone, whatever. I'm going to name my river anxiety. This is river anxiety. That's the name of my river. The name of my river is river anxiety. So go to the chat room. Tell me what's the name of your river. Tell me in the chat room, everybody. Name of my river is. My wife doesn't like me anymore. What's the name of your river? Okay. So your river is how you were feeling that something you want to cross over. So Alice, your river couldn't be peace. I don't want you to cross over peace. I want you to think of some difficulty you're having, some stress you're having, something you want to cross over. Okay, something you want to cross over. Okay, so something you want to cross over. So ask everybody at home what you want to cross over. That's the name of the river. So exhausted, that's the name of the river. Something you want to cross over. So somebody says the river of fear. My daughter said river of depression. That's really spot on and it's okay. River of turmoil. Somebody said river of anxiety, river of concern. Somebody here said river of overwhelm. So give your river a name, and it's okay to give your river any name, so long as it's the river you want to cross over. Adebowale, do you want to cross over River Marvelous? You don't want Marvelous in your life anymore? Can we have 2 or more names? Yeah, you can have 2 or more names is okay. So make sure it's a river you want to cross over. Okay, a river you want to just get over. You want to get over it. So give it a name. Ask your son what's the name of your river. Ask your daughter. Ask your husband or ask your wife. Get everybody in. Let's do this together. Let's have a fun activity. Ask the passenger next to you what's the river you want to cross. Come on, this is fun time, okay? Let's have family fun time. We're going to navigate through the river. The trying times is the river. Mary Fadei says river unhappy. Pero says river disappointment. Somebody says river procrastination. Somebody says river pain on this side. So what's the name of your river? It's okay. Give it a name. Just when you give it a name, on this side of the river, you see that on the right-hand side of the river, you're just going to put all the P's, permanent, breed, then there's pervasive, and there's powerlessness on this side. It starts with P, 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 P. On the other side, you see the words there start with TIE. Is it temporary, isolated, and event effort possible? So we're going to draw the bridge. So I have 3 bridges going across, 1 bridge, 2 bridge. Maybe I should use something else. Yeah, let me use my pencil now. And I have 3 bridges over it. So on top of 1 bridge, I'm writing, uh, how long will this problem last? How long will it last? That's the name of the bridge. Okay, that's the name on the first bridge. How long will it last? Did you get that? You can see it on my screen. The name of the second bridge is what? How widespread is this problem? That's the name on it. How widespread is this problem? That's the second one. What's the third bridge? The third bridge is what? The third bridge is how much can my effort make a difference? How much can my effort make a difference? All right. That's the name of on all the 3 bridges. Remember, it's a bridge you want to cross, right? So on this side of the bridge, on the first bridge that you have drawn, there are 2 sides of the bridge. One is on my right hand side, and the other one is on my left hand side. On this side of the bridge, we have permanent. On this side of the bridge, we have what? Temporary. So there are things we're going to ask ourselves very quickly. If we say this thing is going to last forever, this river is going to continue like this, it's going to last forever, and I will never get past this, and this effect will always be with me, then we're going to go more towards that side. But if we look at our bridge and we look at the other end of the bridge and we say, these two shall pass. It's going to take a while, but I am moving forward. Tomorrow is a new day. So on that first bridge, you're going to ask yourself, where do I want to stand on that bridge? I want you to draw yourself on that bridge, remembering that you could throw much more than you think. Where would you like to stand on that bridge? So you can see on my screen, there are marks on my screen. There's small, tiny marks. Where do you want to stand? Do you want to stand at the permanent side? Or do you want to say, perhaps I have a choice and I can begin to move towards the temporary side? So get everybody to mark where they want to be. Where do they want to be? And remember what we put on both sides to be able to move. Some people want to be in the middle. Some people want to go more to the permanent side. But perhaps some people want to go more towards the temporary side. Then we go to number 2 bridge. And what are the questions there? It's on your screen. The questions is there is what? The question is, uh, everything is ruined. No one will ever be the same. My whole life is affected. That's on this side of the bridge. What's on the other end of the bridge? Okay, is that I can look at it and say, are there other areas of my life that are still working, that are still functioning? Can I be able to move and say, okay, but I'm still okay here. But when I look at it, some parts are not working, but there's some parts that are working. You know, uh, what is working for you now? You realize that the more you can choose to celebrate what is working, you are able to isolate what is not working and no longer feel so overwhelmed if you were that overwhelmed. Because the waves, remember, were all over us and we didn't see our footprints. That's because the duty of the waves is to make us feel it's so pervasive into all areas of our life. I can't eat, I can't work, I can't do this, I can't. But maybe we should isolate it. Are there other areas that are going well? Is your family there? Is your friends there? You know, what area is working? So can you choose where on that second bridge you want to stay? Do you want to move more towards isolating the problem, and even if you don't have a solution, or do you want to go to pervasive? So tell me in the chat room. Tell me in the chat room. And then score yourself. Do I want to move more this way? Do I want to move more this way? Feel free. It's a bridge, and you're going to choose the number of steps you want to take on the bridge. And then we go to the last bridge. Okay? The last bridge is where you feel so powerless. Everything is just, it's not my fault. They made me. There's nothing I can do. You feel so powerless. The government, your friend did this, this one happened to you. You feel so powerless that you're just on this side of the bridge. But what if maybe I didn't cause this Lekki toll gate issue, but maybe we can improve it? Maybe there are lots of options. So what can we do next? And so maybe effort is possible. Maybe this is a call from old Africa. We may not know how. Okay, Victoria Pila, we don't have to know how. Okay, we don't have to know how. But when we threw it up and we caught it in the air, it wasn't because we knew how. It wasn't because we knew how. We're just going to try. We're just going to say maybe effort is possible. Don't kill yourself with how. What you just want to do is maybe instead of looking at it as permanent, pervasive, and powerless, maybe I can look at it as temporary, isolated, and effort is possible. And maybe I can take a step towards it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. But who knows? I thought I could only throw one in the air, and I found that I could throw 5. I could throw 6. Okay? Maybe. Because sometimes we're just shutting ourselves down by trying to fly over the bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to crawl over the bridge. It's okay to, take one step and we'll think about tomorrow's next step. But one thing is, do we want to cross or don't we want to cross? And the fact that we are able to throw it in the air, maybe that's what we should be thinking about. And inside there, you will begin to get the learning points for today's meeting. And on the top of the screen, you will see the clue that I've been trying to give to you. It's one word. Who can give me the word on the top of the screen? Top left-hand corner of the screen. Who can type that word for me? What is that word on the top left corner of the screen? Was it? Tell me. Everybody type that word as you see the word. Type it. 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 Everybody. Okay. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? That word, one singular word, is the word that takes you across the bridge. Is that not amazing? I'm going to send this out, even though I know it's from 6 Seconds, a group I work with in America. But that is one bridge that you can cross today. One bridge. And we're going to do one more exercise, and I'll bring this to a close. I want everybody to just get a piece of paper. So I have in my hand a piece of paper, just a plain sheet if possible. Okay, a plain sheet of paper. Can you get a plain sheet of paper? And if you have your plain sheet of paper, just type paper. Yeah. But let's make sure one side is at least plain where you can write some things. Okay. Get a plain sheet of paper. And if you have a paper, at least one side is clear. Just type paper, paper. Once you have your paper, I want you to fold your paper into three. Just wrap it together, and then once you wrap it together, you can draw one end and draw one end, so that when you open it, it should look like this. It's like 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. So it should read something like this. I have 1, 2, 3. My paper is divided into 3. If you've divided your paper into 3, go to the chat room and just type 3. I hope everybody's doing it at home. Okay, husband, daddy, maid, nephew, cousin. Once you've divided into 3, go to the chat room and just type 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? All right. Are you done that? 1, 2, 3. All right. We have just under 10 minutes to the end of the class, so we'll be good with time. So it's not going to be forever broadcast. 10 more minutes and we'll be able to close. So are you there? 1, 2, 3. Great. Now turn the paper to yourself, and so you have the paper, looking at you. All right. So plain sheet of paper, you've divided it into 3. Now on one side, on this side, type part 1. In the middle, put part 2, and on the other side, put part 3. So here, I'm just going to write part 1. Everyone can do this. 3-year-olds, 2 years old, part 1. In the middle, put part 2, and the other end, put part 3. Okay, so here I wrote part 1, here I wrote part 2, and here I wrote part 3. Right? Have you done that? All right. If you've done that, just give me a thumbs up or wave at me, whatever. Just, yeah, all right. Okay, great. Great class. Great class. You guys are amazing. Great class. All right. Now in your part 1, I want you to write down how you were feeling before the class started. How you were feeling, maybe yesterday when you heard the news, how you were feeling. Write it down, how you were feeling. Write it down, let's write it down. There's something about writing, okay? Write it down, how you were feeling. Bring it out from inside and do what? Write it out. There's something about writing, okay? There's something about writing. So take it out and write it out on the part 1 of your, listen, write that you were feeling angry, you were feeling overwhelmed, you were feeling angry, you were feeling sad, you were feeling disgusted. How were you feeling in the troubling time? Write it on part 1. So write it in your paper, okay? Write it on your paper, part 1, right? Write it on your part 1. Now, once you've written under part 1, go to the chat room and just type part 1. Even if you're just coming in, following with me, just get a piece of paper, divide it into 3. Like I did, I just folded mine. I folded mine. When I opened it, I got 1, 2, 3, and I did part 1, part 2, part 3. And then under part 1, I'm going to write all that I was feeling yesterday. I was feeling very, very angry. I'm going to write my own anger in big letters. Then I'm going to write anxiety. I was fear, frustration. Okay, whatever you were feeling, okay, write another part 1. Now I want you to jump to part 3. Jump to part 3, everyone. Okay, jump to part 3. Here's the question for part 3. Listen carefully to me. If you climbed your bridge, remember that bridge we did last exercise? If you had climbed that bridge and you had pushed from the PP side to the other side, maybe 1 week from now, maybe 2 weeks from now, maybe 3 months from now, okay? What do you think you would like to feel like afterwards? Write it in your part 3. If you had crossed that bridge we did in the last exercise, and now you were on the other side. So I'm going to go back and show you the bridge. I'm going to go back and show you the bridge. So if you had crossed this bridge to the other side, where you could see things as temporary, you could see things as just isolated, and your effort was working, and people's effort was working, you had crossed to this side of the bridge. How would you feel? Write it in your part 3 of your paper. Write it down. How would you feel? I would feel confident. Okay. I will feel confident. I will feel satisfied because I will see an Africa that is walking. I would feel, justice. I'll feel justice because all those who went through things were able to get this. I will feel fulfilled. So write that in your third part. How would you feel? Okay, it's important you do this with me. Okay, write it in your third part. So look 3 months from now. It may even be 3 years from now. How would you feel? So joyful, somebody said, yes, joyful. So write it in the third side of your paper. Once you've done that, go to the chat room and write part 3. Okay, so you should have your part 1 filled and you should have your part 3 filled. If you've done that, go to the chat room and tell me part 3. So you have part 1 and you have part 3. Have you done that? Ask your family members, have they done theirs? They have their part 1 filled and they have their part 3 filled. All right. Gang, you guys are cool, man. You guys are amazing. We have just 5 minutes and we'll keep the time, not a problem. All right. So once you get that right with part 1 and part 3, are you ready for this? So I'm going to give that to you. So we have part 1, part 2. Now, the question in front of you is, what do you want to do with your part 2? What do you want to do in between? Don't tell me, just think for a moment. You have your part 1, you have your part 2. What do you want to do with your part 3? What do I want to do with my part 3? My part 2. You have your part 1, you have your part 3. What do you want to do with your part 2? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Just think about it. What do I want to do with my part 2? The first thing I want you to think about is, what have we done so far? We've been able to put how we feel and how we want to feel, and then something is missing in the middle. Something is missing in the middle. So what are we going to do with your part 2? Ask everyone around you, what do you think we can do with part 2? Remember, you can't say anything in part 1. You can't say anything in part 3. You can't. What can you say in part 2? Remember, you can't do part 1 again. You can't do part 1 again. You can't do part 3. What can you do in part one? And you would see that the answer to that question is one word. What would you do differently? What you would do differently is your choice. But you will notice that what you would do differently would help you to leave three and begin your journey to three. I'm sorry, help you leave one and begin your journey to three. I don't know what it is, but I need you to commence that journey. It's blank because it's full of possibilities. It's full of possibilities. I don't want you to get stuck in one. I don't want you to get too futuristic about three. Just think about one, about two rather. And that's where your bridge begins. I'll leave you with some quick things. Look at this picture and look at this picture. And as you look at this picture, I want you to tell me what you think you can do. As you look at this picture, I want you to think about your part two. Not part one, not part three. Think about your part two. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Think about all the umbrellas. Think about the rain that is falling down. And then ask yourself, what can my part two be? Somebody said, I'm going to cover myself, but I'm going to do this, take a stand out. I'm going to change my approach. Absolutely. Remember, everything you do that you're writing cannot be in part one, cannot be in part three. It's got to be in part two. It's going to be in part two. Now, what is part two for your daughter may not be part two for my son. May not be part two for daddy, may not be part two for your neighbor, but it's going to be your own part two. One hand, one umbrella. Okay, one hand, one umbrella. And so on the basis of that, I'm going to bring this to a close. And I'll tell you what the research says. The research says optimism is the key component and competence of emotional intelligence. Optimism. In fact, the research says that optimism is the highest predictor of life's performance. Optimism. The research says that 66% of your life's performance is predicted by optimism. 66%. Wow. As you lose optimism, you increase your stress level. So how are we going to navigate through troublesome times? Mold Africa defines optimism not as just hope. We define optimism as having faith in yourself, faith in a system you're building up, or faith in collaboration. And that's what I want you to think about in times like this. Think optimism. Because optimism can be learned. We can learn optimism. And when nations are destroyed because they lose optimism. When nations are built, they are built because they learned optimism. So optimism can be learned. Use the 3 bridges and learn optimism. And you gotta keep learning at Mole Africa. Mole Africa defines optimism as hope that is anchored in either yourself, others, or a system. 3 things. See, hope is different from optimism. Optimism has to take hope and begin with yourself. That I can make a difference. How? I can choose to smile. I can choose to navigate my waters. Look at the picture. I can choose to hold my umbrella. Optimism is very different from criticism. Criticism shuts down without providing solution. Optimism says, I don't like this, but this is what I see can be done. That's optimism. It's so easy to be a critic of what you're going. In fact, you can be your worst critic, running down your effort. But remember, you had your pencil. And when you threw your pencil up, you cut your pencil. And when your pencil fell, you had enough optimism to laugh it over and pick it again and throw it in the air. That's optimism. To try it again. Whether you failed, whether they failed, never give up on yourself. That's number 1. Number 2, the people around you will fail you. But we've got to throw this in the air and catch it again. Maybe change what we threw in the air. But we got to keep trying. Maybe that legislator failed you, but we've got to throw it in the air and try one more time. Maybe the person you loved failed you. Maybe your parent failed you. You got to go in and throw that pen in the air again. That's optimism. Optimism is also about hope in a system. And if one system fails and falls to the ground, we're going to have to reinvent the system. Africa, listen to me. I don't know what time it is where you are. If one system is broken, let's pick up another system. For too long, I think we've stayed at the sidelines. I don't want you to be a critic or a complainer. I want to be optimistic. And let's build a system again. Whatever is your country, whatever is your personal situation, don't give up on optimism. It's the highest predictor of life's outcome. So what am I saying? Cross your bridge. That's what I'm saying. Decide that today I will make progress on my bridge because I can hold my umbrella, and who knows, somebody else may be able to hold their umbrella. Optimism is not about finding the solution. It's by embracing hope. It's the doorway that attracts the solution. So I don't have all the answers for your personal life, for your individual life. I don't have, but I know that all solutions begins with optimism. So Mole Africa is celebrating at this time with each of us and saying it's time to learn optimism. Mole Africa will announce palliatives to assist you in these times. We'll make some announcements for those of you in Mole Africa, and we'll just be able to say this is what we're doing. I've sent a broadcast apologizing that We should have done this when Cameroon was in crisis, when Ghana was in crisis, when Somalia was in crisis. And I'm really sorry we didn't do that. But rising from here, we will weep with them that weep, and we will mourn with them that mourn, but we'll do it from the heart of optimism. That is how we will navigate through trying times, because we can hold the umbrella and we can see that the tomorrow will definitely be better than now. And from that umbrella, we will attract actual solutions. And so this is Tekanai Koko saying, thank you for listening to me in times like this. And I hope those exercises helped you. And if you do need someone to talk to, we would make more broadcasts, by the weekend, of avenues in which you can reach to us and provide you some more learnings to use emotional intelligence in times like this. So watch out over the weekend. I'll do another amazing session where we can use emotional intelligence to blaze through this. This class, the video for this will be made available on social media, and you can share it all. For those of you who are in Mole Africa, kudos to you. Use those things to explain to other people why this is the time where we need emotional intelligence the most. I remain Tekanai Koko, the league trainer at Mole Africa, where we are motivated to see that we can give you tools to navigate these tough times. And so thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. And Tekanai Koko saying bye for now.